Hello Sagittarius, and welcome to your new moon lunar cycle insight video for the cycle beginning with the new moon on the 4th of February in the sign of Aquarius. So this new moon is a really beautiful lunation. It's initiating a wave of fresh energy as all planets move direct, and it's bringing in a sense of hope, a sense of renewal and rebirth. It's also lunar in bulk, which for those of us here in the northern hemisphere is the festival of new beginnings and regeneration. So this moon works perfectly synchronistically with those energies. It's going to take place for you in your 3rd house, Sagittarius. So this is the space of the birth chart which rules over our throat chakra, our ability to speak our truth, to express ourselves, commute through writing, speaking, teaching. It's about data, belief systems, programming. And the sign of Aquarius works really harmoniously with these energies, also being an air sign and being a sign of connection, collaboration, conscious community. So we start the month off with this really social energy, and this can be a lunar cycle where you may feel or experience opportunities coming in through your connections with other people, through your web, through your networks. This is a great time for those of you who are doing throat chakra activities, working with communication and words in some way, to initiate new projects, to launch things online. This is also a time when our online life can be really active, can be really beneficial for us. Things can flow to us through people we meet online, new ideas, new insights, new downloads of information. We are essentially able with this energy to reprogram ourselves, to move beyond our limitations and see the bigger vision. So this can be a good new moon for you to write your intentions down, for you to speak them out into the universe. At the time of this moon, we also have Mercury in Aquarius, giving you that extra ability to think clearly, to express your ideas, to use your words, to create your life from an even deeper level. On the 10th of February, Mercury is going to move into Pisces, where he will go retrograde next month. So this is an important transit, as it's giving us a foreshadowing of what might need to be cleared as we move into March's lunar cycle next month. So with Mercury and Pisces in the 4th house, you might be feeling an uprising of old memories, particularly from childhood, things connected with your inner child rising up in your subconscious to show you what needs to be healed, what needs to be let go of, what is holding you back from fully actualizing these visions. It can be a time when you may, especially when the Sun joins Mercury in this space of your chart on the 18th, when you're feeling, the need to go within, and be tender and nurturing with yourself as you do some processing. This can be a house that is very connected with ancestral lineage as well. So we might just also be processing things from our ancestral line, these old patterns that get passed down from generation to generation, maybe coming up to be looked at too. But in general, it's this energy of going within to rest, to nurture, to clear, to wash away. Pisces is this sign of infinite compassion. So we're thinking of washing away and forgiving the past, letting go in order to move forward. On a physical level, with particularly next month with Mercury going retrograde, there can be perhaps a need to make changes to your living space. You know, perhaps you're thinking about moving or making your space more comfortable in some way. So this is the time of looking after the inner and outer temple, you know, healing our feelings of not feeling stable or not feeling secure or not feeling rooted. And you, Sagittarius, you know, the great wanderer, this could be quite a change in energy for you. So also this month in this 4th house, we have Chiron finishing up his 7-year stay here. So this is amplifying that energy even more of, you know, needing to almost wash ourselves clean of our old traumas, you know, anything that we have been holding on to or feeling extra sensitive about. This can be a time when we are really digging deep to see the roots of that behavior, you know, to see the roots of any old patterns. Where did they come from? How can we work to transform them? How can we let go so we can come into a space of really knowing how to give ourselves the love and care that we desire? So Kat's come to join me. She always likes to be starring in 1 or 2 of these videos every month. So Chiron is finishing up his stay in that 4th house of Pisces up until mid-February. Chiron is going to move into Aries for the first time in 54 years on the 18th, the same day the sun moves into Pisces, and just as we have a full moon rising in Virgo as well in your 10th house. So Chiron's going to be shifting himself, preparing for a 7-year stay in Aries, which will be in your 5th house, Sagittarius. So this is an interesting energy because Chiron in Aries is already about reclaiming our sense of power, our sense of identity. And the 5th house is also very much connected with self-love, self-worth, being able to share yourself in authentic and creative ways. You know, it's the expression of your solar energy, your unique soul essence. So this can be a time when you are really, this 7-year period is a time when you are really reclaiming your self-worth, reclaiming your creative power, knowing that your offerings and what you have to share with the world are good enough. So this is an ongoing transit, a long time transit that will unfold gradually. But we do often, when a planet makes a change from one sign to the other, we get a glimpse of the lessons that we will be working with during its stay in that space of our birth chart. So really take note of what is rising up around this time of mid-February, around this time of the 18th and 19th, as the full moon rises. And the full moon's going to take place in your 10th house. So it's taking place in the top of your chart, the space very much connected with career and reputation, opposing those planets in Pisces at the 4th house. So this is where we think about how the foundations of our life, how we are treating ourselves and nurturing ourselves, is supporting us to grow into the person that we wish to be, to build the life, the career, the purpose that we were born to. So we may find that there's some cleansing going on, there's some changes in these areas of our lives. The full moon in Virgo can make us think about what we may need to detoxify or declutter in our work life. Perhaps there are some energies that are not serving us that are in our workspace, and we decide now is the time to move on. Or perhaps we need to become more structured and organized in order to become productive, to really get the results that we want to for the work that we're putting in. So we may also become aware of how the health of our physical vessel and our home space is impacting our work life. So for example, if we work from home, or we work in a space that is very cluttered, that can have a big impact on how productive we are, how clear the energy that we are channeling is. So we may find that this month, particularly from mid-month, there's this wave of purifying, of getting things in order in these very key areas of your chart, Sagittarius. So we also this month have Mars moving into Taurus. So this is just happening just before the full moon, 5 days before the full moon, on the 14th, Valentine's Day for those of you who celebrate. And this energy is working again in one of your houses of work and detoxification, day-to-day structure and routine. Mars is going to come into Taurus in your 6th house. Now, since the beginning of the year, he's been in Aries in your 5th house. He's probably been igniting you, you know, in your fellow fire sign with all of these ideas, inspirations, creative projects, you know, really kind of pulling you to let yourself be seen, to express yourself in the world. And as he goes into Taurus, now is the time that we begin to ground and anchor these ideas. We begin to make them tangible. So again, we've got this element of really moving forward this month. And Mars in Taurus in the 6th house can be a very, very productive energy. This can be a time when we can get things done. It really supports this decluttering energy of the Virgo full moon. It's really giving you the motivation and the enthusiasm to get really clear, to get really organized, to get really disciplined and focused about the things that you wish to bring into being this month. It's a great time for you to start with a new routine, a new exercise regime, a new diet, detoxification, you know, anything you can do to purify your physical body can be really helpful this month. Sometimes when we have Mars here, we can have inflammatory conditions that are calling us to look at how we need to heal our body on a deeper level as well. So this is a time of your body giving you messages about what needs to change on a mental level and what needs to change on a physical level so that you can have more peace in your life. You know, ultimately what we're looking for is creating a space of orderliness, you know, so that we can really give ourselves the space that we need in the 4th house to do this deep emotional healing and clearing work, but also to keep building on this energy of momentum where we're moving towards our goals. So we're finding this balance between nurturing and looking after ourselves, and also thinking about what we are going to set into motion at this time, in this very fertile period of the year. The things that we speak into being, the things that we intend to plant at this time of year, really set the tone for how the year will unfold for us. And this is particularly true for you, Sagittarius. So it's a very, very exciting month, a month that is, you know, bringing us lots of opportunities, lots of transitions, but in a really expansive way. So I'm going to pick a card for you from the Sacred Rebels Oracle deck by Alana Fairchild to bring this reading into culmination. This is really interesting. So, visions of life beyond death. And that's not as scary as it sounds. Nothing to do with anybody crossing over. But we do have this beautiful owl here. We have this peacock with his all-seeing eyes. We have the raven who looks at the world with one eye, then the other. And we have the ancient Kaliak goddess here who witnesses the eternal cycles of time, of life, of death and rebirth. She who has seen all, been here since the beginning of time. And this is a really interesting energy because it's all about being able to see beneath the surface, to be able to see, to have a vision of your future and what it can become. So this really ties in with the visionary energy of Aquarius, because Aquarius, like these beautiful birds, flies above and sees everything from a higher perspective. So this is saying to you, you know, with Mercury and Pisces, what is your inner voice telling you? What is your intuition telling you about the big picture for your life? If there is something that you've been feeling you want to change, Sagittarius, but not quite being able to put it into motion, or there's a vision that's coming to you that you haven't quite taken action upon, now is the time to do it. Trust what you're seeing, trust what you're feeling. You are the person that knows best about your destiny. So that's a really beautiful card. There's so much detail in that. But trust the wisdom that comes through you. Trust the voice inside that tells you the pathway to take this month. Thank you so much for listening to me. There's another owl card there. If you wish to connect with me further, you can check the links in the box below this video. Sending you so much love and wishing you a beautiful lunar cycle.